Okay, here I am, October 2nd, 2020. I've been to this place before, but not this side. I've never seen this structure. Now, a number of those are cut, but this is an area where there's been a considerable amount of Forest Service coming through here and sawing up this downed wood all over the place. It looks like it's been here for at least a little while, about a year or longer. Very well made. You've got cross member pieces kind of holding it all together like we typically see in Sasquatch structures. Not too far from a campground, but not where the campers would get to. This is further than most campers will walk to find firewood. So I'll walk around and get some views from the other side. The support shows no twine whatsoever, and I cannot emphasize that enough. You go look at TV shows like Naked and Afraid, Dual Survivor, Bear Grylls, Les Stroud. These guys use twine. They don't build like this. This takes too much work. Now there are, like I said, a number of cut members in this. But it's a nice little structure with some room under there. And my feeling has always been that females build these, and this is where they shelter with their young. I'm trying to show the top part here to show that there's no twine whatsoever in this. And here's another view. Just a really neat structure. Well built. This has been made since the fires came through here. There's a few pieces that are burned that are built into the structure. I'm sure would not have been there. This is basically made out of oak. These poles are mostly oak, but we're in mostly oak and maple forest here, so that was not to be unexpected. Okay, somebody or something built this. This is a star built onto the ground. Now, I haven't seen anything like this that I would attribute to a Sasquatch before. I think some people probably did it, trying just to do it. I'm not certain a Sasquatch would do this, but I could see where people would do it. There had been a rock pile up in this area that I had found before, but it's really tough. I'm on the top of a little hill, and it's all weedy, so you don't see things till you get right on top of them. So I'm going to keep wandering around and see what I see. But interesting pentagram. I'll get this up in the air so you can see it better. And here within 30 feet of that pentagram is a screen or blind that's been built to be hidden behind, and probably for hunting game. Coming in here, my dog chased up a couple of deer. There's a lot of deer in this area. They come through here on their way down out of the canyon as winter approaches. And the oaks are in acorns. We don't have wild pigs around here, but we got lots of turkeys and we got lots of deer. My hope is that we don't get wild pigs in here because they just screw this area up. This area is prime for pigs with all the mast crop that you get every fall. But pigs are a bane of existence all over the country. Anyway, this is neat. Again, no twine. I don't see hunters doing this. It's too much work without twine. But be as it may. And the fire was just a week or two, over 2 years ago, and there's some burnt components built into this. So this was definitely built since the fire. This cannot be 2 years old. And that pentagram also had some burnt sticks in it. So it has to be younger than 2 years old. And again, I've been up here before and never seen these things, but I could have missed them. The undergrowth is really heavy. I circled back around to view this from a different direction. Now this structure could have been built by humans. That's not the object here. And if this was the only structure I found in this area, I'd say, yeah, just some kids or somebody built it and camped in it for a few days. But again, there's no fire ring right nearby, no litter, which, you know, I've come across these fire rings and there's always litter all around them up here. Again, no twine incorporated in it. And the fact that I've probably seen, and just in the last 4 years, 50, 60, maybe 70 structures, shelter structures like this in this canyon, and no one has ever seen anybody building them. And I've gotten to know all the camp hosts, all the Forest Service employees in the area and talked to them about them. In fact, they've shown me, taken me into some other structures. You know, I think Sasquatch are building these dudes. So that's up to you to think, but this is a pretty neat one. So this pole right here, I'm going to take a leak on it. The reason being is that I've heard other researchers or other people out looking for these things say they've done that and they've seen Sasquatches come in and just destroyed them, shaking them to bits. I have seen some trees that have just been shaken all up. The only way you can explain it. I mean, exploded from being vibrated so tremendously. So we'll see. I'll come back in a few weeks and see if I see anything. This is within a couple of 100 yards of that elaborate structure. Now somebody or something's built this. Again, we've got some chopped logs in there, but the Forest Service is doing a lot of work. There's a lot of chopped wood all over the place in here. But these were leaned up against that pole, made in the style of what a Sasquatch would do. If I said a Sasquatch did it, it probably would have been a young person just kind of playing around. Definitely not used to be made to be used, at least by an adult. Not like the structure I photographed a few minutes ago. It looks like there's another one just down the hill here. So I'm going to walk over there and take a look. Again, these are things that I did not see last time I was in here, which was before the fire 2 years ago. I'm sure they've all been built since then. And we're in a campground here, in an area where there's campgrounds. So there's no hunting up here at all. And I think that's one of the reasons why this area is so incredibly squatchy. Is the Sasquatches know in a state where people are maniacal about hunting, they can't hunt in here for a very large area. Some of the beautiful colors on this fall day. Notice how the brush, the leaves are about 4.5 feet from the ground. That's because of deer eating all the low stuff. And here we've got some deadfall, clearly just cut and scraped and shoved aside by the Forest Service as they're clearing what had fallen across the roads and trails. This is clearly human. I show this just as a comparison to what I think are a good chance to be Sasquatch structures. There's some mallards there out towards the middle.